recording. Let me just make sure that's going. It is. Okay, perfect. All right, continuing on here. Okay, so the first thing that we need to evaluate is what's actually on our agenda, what's on your daily schedule. So, right, we've already said multiple times, everybody has responsibilities, everybody has obligations. So how effectively are you managing your own time? And it's interesting, when you do the math, there are 168 hours in a week, which maybe sounds like a lot, but when you figure things in like work, class, errands slash necessary activities, maybe we're taking care of children, we all got to go grocery shopping, we all got to eat, right? You do want to figure in studying. As a student, you guys know that's a very important part to your success. Recreation should be involved there as well. Maybe you don't have as much time as you did prior to becoming a student, but you should still have a little bit of time for that, and sleep. We're going to talk about that a little bit more, but sleep is actually important, and you should be figuring that into your schedule because it's going to help your overall mental health and well-being. And so just a suggestion, you could maybe create a list of your own daily obligations and calculate the time spent on each activity. So let's say it's Monday and you've got class in the morning. So how long are you going to be in class? And then after that, maybe you're working. How many hours do you devote to work? And then what's left over? Do you need to run some errands or do some grocery shopping? Figure in some time for that. And then how much time do you have for studying? And we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about how much time to be devoting to studying. And we'll get into that in a future slide. So first, you just want to be able to identify, what does my schedule look like? Okay, so once you've got that kind of figured out, the daily planner. The daily planner will truly be your best friend. This is going to be the way that you are writing down everything that you need to get done in that day. There's a lot of free resources, free planners online. I really just Googled daily planner, and I got pages and pages of free templates like this one that you could print out. Or if you want to be fancy, or if you like having your own physical planner with you, I really liked this one. Of course, you can go anywhere and get a daily planner. But the important thing about these daily planners is they're going to help you divide your schedule into different time slots, or you can also divide your schedule into categories of urgent, important, and unimportant. So when I say unimportant, that means, is there anything that you can delegate to another time or another day? Is there any activity that you can reschedule because it's not the most urgent? Whereas things like work and taking care of children or things like that obviously have to be done. Errands may have to be done. But what I really liked about this daily planner template that I found from Google is it contains a section here that's divided into times of the day. So under that appointment section, where it says from 7 to 7:30, 8 to 9 o'clock, that's really going to help you break down your day even further, because you can write down, what exactly am I doing from 8 to 8:45, and then 9 to 9:45. And another thing that I really liked about this template as well was this prioritized task list. And that's going to help you really focus on, what are the things that I need to get done today? What are my goals? We're going to talk about goals in the next slide. But this is just really going to help you organize your life. Don't forget to include set times for studying. Once you write something down, you feel more obligated to complete that task. So maybe block in an hour of time into your daily planner specifically just for studying. And hopefully you'll find with creating a plan for your day, that creating that list really helps you to reduce your anxiety, helps you to feel less overwhelmed about your responsibilities, and it makes you feel more focused. And as you accomplish each task, you're going to feel really satisfied and productive, which is how we want to feel at the end of every day, right? And I want to ask you guys, are there any tricks or anything that you use currently to like this daily planner to kind of help you get through the day? Or what are some things that you guys have found helpful when you're trying to organize that crazy work week?
I use my Google Calendar like it's my best friend. So, and everything in there is color coded and it all syncs up and it's amazing.
Yes, definitely taking advantage of our devices, the calendar on our smartphone. Go ahead, Vera. Were you about to share something?
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't prioritize the list, but I do write the due date. So I know if I can prolong, like postpone it for another day, which day is the last day I can postpone it in a way.
I
But
see.
yeah, I do mine, my phone calendar.
Okay. Nice. Very nice.
I'm definitely a writer downer too. I mean, I would have to be better for school, but like even I have this list here. It's like Home Depot, Vitamin Cottage, get a fire alarm, get wall text. I mean, so I usually for me, I have just like a piece of just plain paper
Mhm.
sitting on my counter with just every time I think of something, I have to write it down because like with my kids, I'll never remember, even if it's like, don't forget to pick up the kids from school or
Right.
whatever. I just have this running list. I just cross it off and cross it off as I go and then throw it out and get a new one.
Right.
You know, it's a rough, but it
But it
just reminds
works.
me, so.
Right. Yeah, and it's interesting to hear how maybe we all kind of have different methods. Some of us like to take advantage of what we've got on our smartphones and sync up our calendars with our other devices. Whereas myself, and it sounds like Amy too, something about writing it down helps me just process the information better and it sticks in my brain better. It reminds me I need to do this because I'm writing it down. But whatever works for you, that's why I was saying whatever you feel like is the most effective for you, stick with it. And with that list that you were mentioning, Amy, maybe what you could do, take that list and then organize it into time slots, blocks of time, so that you know when you're doing each activity. But so we might be more tactile, we might be more visual. We've all got different methods of organizing our daily activities. Thank you guys for sharing your tips and what works for you. So another thing that you guys might find helpful for yourselves is setting goals. So kind of similar to that prioritized task list, setting a goal for yourself is going to keep you focused. It can be a daily goal, weekly, or monthly. So what do I want to get done? I want to study for 1 hour today, and I want it to be productive. That's my goal. So maybe what you could do, write this on a sticky note or even just your daily planner, but have it somewhere visual so that it's easily accessible. It reminds you to accomplish that goal. And that sense of satisfaction from accomplishing each goal is really going to motivate you to commit to your schedule. Again, you're going to feel productive. You're going to feel like you're really accomplishing things each day. One thing I would say though is use the gradual approach. So don't overload yourself with 10 or so goals that you want to get today. Just maybe set 1 or 2 things, just a few things that you know that you can actually do or that can be practical for you. Um, and that will be manageable for you given whatever your schedule is like. Um, I personally do this. I set weekly goals for myself and I set monthly goals for myself. Usually it's around 4 or 5 per month, and I'll refer back to those goals every few days, and I'll see, okay, have I reached that goal yet? Have I done that thing that I've been planning to do? And like I said, it just feels really nice when you're able to check off that box, like, yep, I did. I did that. I finished that assignment, that big project that I've been working on. I turned it in on time. Awesome. And, you know, it doesn't even have to be related to your studies. Maybe this is also a personal goal you're setting for yourself. Maybe you're trying to be a more healthy person and stick to a more healthy diet, anything like that. Like I said, when you accomplish those things, you're just going to feel very productive, and it's a very rewarding feeling for you. Okay. So we talked about, oops, me clicking things I shouldn't. Okay, so now we're going to talk about some of those time waster activities. Netflix and study. So a lot of us maybe try multitasking, which sometimes it's unavoidable. That's true. But there are some things that we don't necessarily need to be doing while we're simultaneously, you know, trying to study or devote important focused time on other activities. So we're going to want to avoid those time wasting activities. So tech interruptions, Vera mentioned previously, social media. Anytime you get a notification from your phone, kind of subconsciously, we always just look at our phone and see, oh, what's going on? Who's got a new puppy, or, you know, who just moved into a new house? Things like that. Maybe you can turn off or silence your notifications while especially you're doing important things like studying. Unplanned schedule. So if you're just not planning your schedule at all, if you don't have a daily planner, if you're not utilizing, you know, the calendar on your phone or some method of managing your life, you're going to be frantically doing things kind of on the spot. And you may be devoting too much time to a time wasting activity and not enough time to the more important things, especially as a student. So prioritizing is going to be really important. Again, too, I just want to emphasize that minimal distractions are ideal. So those unnecessary distractions, silencing your phone during your scheduled study session, and a lot of time in your day when you can have peace and quiet. Maybe that's easier said than done, but based off of what you've got going on in your life, is there a time where, you know, maybe everyone's asleep, or there's not as much sound going on around you, and you know you can have peace and quiet? Open your textbooks, open your notes, and really get some good focused study time in. So it's not just about finding that time, but using the time wisely, is what this slide kind of focuses on here. Anything you guys want to add, or any distractions that you feel like you've had before, and that you know you need to kind of keep yourself in check? I know we talked about social media, or just any other distractions that you guys can kind of think of that you know you would have to separate between study time and life. Okay, that's right. All right. So another thing too that we're all pretty guilty of is procrastination. I really liked this meme thing that I found: procrastinators unite tomorrow. This quote that I found: tomorrow, a mythical land where 99% of all productivity, motivation, and achievement is stored. I could not find the source of this quote, and I thought it was such a true statement to what so many of us are guilty of doing. We always say, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll have time tomorrow. Or, you know, I'll wake up early tomorrow and I'll get that thing done, or I'll do that studying tomorrow. But 9 times out of 10, something gets in the way, something unexpected happens, and we may just keep delaying what we've planned to do again and again and again. And what we want to avoid is being in a situation where we've got a deadline and we wait till the last minute to get it done, because that's when you feel frantic. That's when that anxiety and that stress comes into play. We want to feel confident because we have been sticking to our plan and not waiting until the last minute. So, procrastination, we've all been there. What are some things that can cause you to procrastinate? One, so again, those time waster activities. Maybe you see a new season of your favorite shows on Netflix and you think, oh, okay, I can watch 1 or 2 episodes and then I'll, study for that test, and then I'll work on that project. So that's, kind of a more light thing that we might all experience, but also feeling overwhelmed, feeling tired, feeling stressed out. Those are very real things, especially as nursing students. You guys may feel just really cramped for time, and it could lead to some anxiety. It could lead to just feeling overwhelmed. And then, as we've been saying multiple times, we've all got competing demands in our own daily schedule. So the point here is going to be learning how to prioritize. So what's important to you and what needs to get done? So besides the obligations, what absolutely, should you do before going to bed at night? You know that you've got an exam coming up in a week. So while you've got time, just study a little bit, maybe, an hour to half an hour before you go to bed. That way, when test day arrives, you're going to feel confident. You're going to feel like I am aware of the information. I've been preparing for this. I'm good. I know what I'm doing, and I'm going to go into this exam with confidence. Another thing that you can try doing, so if you know that you have the habit of becoming easily distracted with social media or other things going on around you, try setting an alarm for yourself or some type of reminder, something audible, something that you can hear to remind you, oh, hey, I said today that I was going to read this chapter in my textbook. I just see this alarm going off on my phone. Let me stop what I'm doing and get to that, because I told myself I was going to do it right now at this time. And really committing to your schedule. Remember that really only you are responsible for your success. So if you're putting forth the effort to set up a daily schedule for yourself, commit to it. This is you investing in your future, investing in your new career. So we've got to take it seriously, and we've got to maybe push aside those unimportant activities to dedicate to your investment, to your future. So hopefully these tips and things can help us to get out of that habit of procrastination, setting an alarm or a reminder for yourself, really committing to that schedule, remembering what's important for you, and then also selecting a time in your day where there will be less distractions, less sound going on around you. It's just you and your textbook and your notebooks, and that's it. So another thing that you guys might find to be helpful, kind of an extra support for yourselves, are study groups. The class that sticks together wins together. So how are study groups helpful? Well, they're useful for avoiding procrastination, because if you have arranged with your study group to meet at a certain time, and right now, obviously given the circumstances, that's probably going to be virtually. But if you've told the other students in the group that you're going to commit yourself to this time, you're going to feel more obligated to fulfilling that commitment. Also, other benefits of study groups, They strengthen our communication skills and our teamwork abilities. So they really help us to refine those skills, which, as you guys know, as future nurses or in the medical field, that's very necessary. That's a very useful skill to have, is your ability to work with others. And also it aids in your refining of understanding the material, because you are feeding off with each other, right? So you're getting feedback from another student. Maybe one student in the group understands a portion of the material that you were struggling with previously, but then also maybe you can also contribute some information to the group. So if you schedule study groups with each other, that's going to be also a useful use of your time, because it's not just you relying on yourself, but it's also other people in the study group relying on you as well to make sure that you're all present and focused on the material. And like I said previously, it is important to schedule a little bit of recreation or just giving yourself a bit of a brain break. So scheduling shorter yet regular study sessions do reap better results. Studies find that 1 to 2 hour sessions, as opposed to an all-nighter, are much more effective. They're a much more effective way of really retaining that information. Cramming is not recommended with our day-to-day lives. Sometimes cramming feels like the only option, but it's not really an effective way of really absorbing the information. You're not just putting it into the short-term memory. We want to put it into the long-term memory, because you want to be able to apply everything that you're learning. So try to avoid cramming and focus more on planning those shorter 1 to 2 hour sessions for yourself per day, given what you've got going on in your schedule. And then sometimes just a little break. So maybe you just need a breath of fresh air. Maybe you need a short walk, or a break between studying to help you refresh the mind. And don't forget to take care of yourself. I know that Amy Stark was telling me that this is something that is going to be stressed to you guys a lot, self-care. So don't neglect sleep, and don't fall into that temptation of using up some of your sleep time to study or get other things done. Try to get a healthy amount of sleep each day, because that's going to help your overall mental well-being. That's going to help your ability to function and learn. It's going to affect your performance. So really try and make sure you're sleeping enough each day. And then also things like hydration, drinking enough water. It does boost your energy. It's going to help you to avoid headaches and things like that. So on top of what we've talked about, utilizing a daily planner, setting goals for yourself, avoiding those time waster activities. If you notice that you're getting a headache, if you're feeling overwhelmed, maybe just take a short break. Schedule in a time to take a little short break, take a short walk, and then once you return back to your scheduled activities, you might see that you feel much more refreshed and energized. So this is a resource that I got from Cornell University. And it's a time management system, and I've actually got it up here. So I'm going to see if I can open that up for you guys. So this is provided by Cornell University, and it looks kind of like a class rubric. So the first page here, it just kind of gives instructions on how to use this semester calendar, which is the time management system. There is a portion here where you write down each class that you have, and then the hours per week that you should be devoting to studying for that class. And I like here how it says in parentheses, a good rule of thumb is to allow 2 to 3 hours outside of class for every 1 hour spent in class. So maybe that means you'll devote an hour or so of studying in the morning and then an hour or so of studying in the afternoon. But again, this just really helps you to be able to visualize what exactly do you have going on and how much time should I be devoting to studying per each class that I'm taking. And then this semester calendar, I really liked this. So this is where we've got like a rubric of each week. Obviously, the dates on here are for a spring semester, so you would have to, cross out the dates and write down the dates that actually pertain to your school calendar, your semester calendar. But what you can do is just write on each block here what class you have, and then how much study time you want to devote to each of those classes per day. So I just found that to be really helpful. And then here's a weekly calendar as well. So again, it's divided into time slots where very similar to that daily planner where I was showing you, you can write down in each block what activities you have devoted to every time for each day of the week. So this might just be another helpful system for you guys if you want to check it out on your own time. I will confirm this with Amy Sturrock, but I believe that we can make this presentation available to you guys, or if not, we could send you the links that I'm showing you as well if you want any further information on it. Okay, any questions so far? Anything that you guys want to add? All right. All right, so in conclusion, like I've written here, starting off a new semester can be stressful. However, by setting up an attainable daily schedule, committing to your schedule, and avoiding that procrastination, you can set yourself up for success. I also just wanted to take a moment and let you guys know, happy new semester. If you would like more resources, one thing that is available to you guys on Canvas is called the Canvas calendar. And so that basically is a tool that's available to you guys to be able to keep track of all of your classes and put it all within this schedule available on Canvas, but you can also sync it with your devices. You can sync it with Google and Outlook. So kind of like what Erica was saying before, she likes to use the calendar on her phone. The Canvas calendar also functions in a very similar way where you can sync things to other devices. There's some other helpful apps out there as well. Quizlet is an app, a free app that allows you to make your own flashcards and allows you to make your own flashcards on your device. So you can have it with you ready to go whenever you're ready to commit that time to studying. And then Evernote is also an app that is compatible with Apple and Android devices. It allows you to record notes and lectures, organize your class information, store pictures, and again, you can also use the cloud to integrate all that information with your other devices. So there's a lot of tools out there to help you guys to be successful, to stick to your schedule, to make sure you're committing to your times that you've planned for studying. And then if you have further questions or further things that you would like to discuss or get some more support with, this is my email here at emory.wilcoxen@cuanschutz.edu. I also do have a schedule set up on Appointments Plus, and you can request an appointment with me there, and then I can get in contact with you guys and we can find a time that works together for a session, and we can talk about anything that you guys need further help with. So that is the end of the presentation.